Next, let's talk about the concept of records that are the data classes. Let me check if we, okay, optional was also there. Okay, so generally people could see the records earlier in Python or any programming, other programming languages, or in the database if you are from the Oracle. Uh, Java had too much boilerplate for simple data objects. In short, for the older approach, I really wanted to tell you. But if I use the records, it removes the code boilerplate. It makes the objects immutable. When you are creating records, it becomes immutable data carriers, which would not be modifiable. And whenever we write the POJO classes, we write the POJO classes. I have written one in my code this way. So to complete the POJO class, if we have any private property and I want to get the property, set the property, we actually write it with getters and getters, setters, or constructors. So when we are using records, these are the data classes that removes the code boilerplate, no getters, no constructors needed. And it also maintained the sealed classes that control the inheritance. As we know, we cannot inherit the sealed classes. And pattern matching for the conditional logic. Once you will understand the base structure, you will better understand why and how the things has to be used that way. So if you if I'm saying I'm not touching this order class, just telling you with any other class required here. For example, here only I'm writing. For example, if you write the class customer, okay. If you write it like a normal class, how do you write it? Let's say I write private and I also want to make it fine. And here I want to create the constructor. And here I want to write the getter of the name and the getter of the age. Just a basic code. But in a modern Java, if you are creating any POJO class, you actually don't write it. How do you write it? You write a record inside the class only where it has to be used. Record, customer, whatever properties you needed there, just write that. No getters, no setters, and no constructors. How could you use that? Let's say I just write here customer detail. Okay. I coming to the main method. If you want to create the instance, it has to be used the same way. You can see that. This is the class. Can you see that? It was prompting. Before Java 16, we used to create a class like this using a regular class. But Java 16 or later, we use a record. Why we use record? It is also going to prompt you. Because record automatically generates the constructors, accessors, toString, equal, getters, and setters for all of you. So this is how it has to be used. And record automatically gives the constructor, getters, and hash code and the strings also. And it really helps you to keep your code intact and readable when writing the complex piece of code. One more thing I wanted to tell you, people generally ask that, Bhavna, how do we write the conditions there? So we also write the conditions there, but for that we need to use the blocks. That is another concept that comes up in when we are using the records. So what happened under the hood when we are writing this particular statement? Java automatically generate this property, I'm telling you how this code has to be generated. So when you are writing the customer detail, mark my words if I'm saying this, it will create two properties, name and age, and the both properties will be automatically private and final internally. And when I'm saying that the private properties has to be created, a canonical constructor has to be created with the two properties the same way I have shown you here. And again, if I'm saying this, please mark my words. It will do as it is, which I'm saying to you. And then it will create accessors methods, not getters. We call them as an accessor methods. So why I'm saying this? For example, can you see this? When I am going to create a getters and setters, I have a names called get name and set. Get name, set name, get age, set age. But when I am creating record, it will be creating the methods with the name of the properties. And we call it as an accessors, not getters and setters. Is this clear to all of you? The difference? So you need to understand it because you have to use it the same way. So it only creates it will create a canonical constructor. Dear, canonical constructor means the parameter constructor with whatever fields you have mentioned in the record, the same number of fields will be there in the constructor.